Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to showcase some of the new features here for ZeroPro. This is the build 612 here and it has some awesome new features here. You can take a test drive. All you need to do is just visit TradeZero, download the software for a free 2-week trial. You'll be able to take a look at the advanced indicators, charting indicators. We have the new custom hotkey deck. We also have a new chart preset, chart overlay for TradeZero, which is going to have some advanced indicators that's going to give you an indication for oversold and overbought conditions, also divergence, positive and negative divergence. So it's going to be a great video. Please stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's take a look here at the complex options window because we're looking at Tesla. This is the $600 strike price here, and on the right here we have puts and on the left we have calls. So all we need to do is just select a row. That's going to bring up the chart data here, and you can see that you'll be able to analyze options data depending on what strike, or let's, for instance, if you want to look at a monthly or the weeklies here, just select a tab and you'll be able to bring up that data. Okay, so that concludes options here. Let's take a look at the new custom hotkey deck because that's where all the action is. Go to the top here of the screen. We're going to select our hotkey icon. I'm going to show you a few things here on how I have mine set up, and this is completely customizable. This is just an example to get you guys started, but let me just review some of the most important features here. So we have two tabs here at the top. We have we have the hotkey buttons, and then we also have the hotkey deck. You can see that I got everything already set up. So everything from the catalog I was able to bring over and just create a deck here. But let me show you how you can set up a custom hotkey or custom hotkey button and how that works. So we're going to go to the actions panel here, and we're going to look at some of these settings. So we can select toggle market depth. We also have toggle charts in all orders actions. So let's take a look at this one here, and this basically gives us an opportunity to cancel the last order, all orders. Okay, we can do this various ways here. Now you don't have to actually create a hotkey assignment. That's the great thing about the new deck or the new custom hotkey build here, is that you don't actually have to create an assignment. So we can either create a custom hotkey button, right? Bring it to, once it's in the catalog, we can move it onto the deck here, and then you're going to see that it's going to be right here on your level 2 window. All right, so let's do a quick example here for setting up an order. I want to show you how this works. So we're going to set up a new order. This one is going to be for a limit order for 1,000 shares. So I'm just going to type in limit 1,000 shares, and we're going to auto send this order. So this is just an example. Again, I can use a variation of hotkeys here. So I can use an example. I can use my function keys here. I can use like F7, F1 through F12. We can do like control 1, 2, 3 using the keypad, or I can use combinations of control and alt using a keyboard character. For example, let's say I want to use control L, right? That's going to be for our limit order. Now let me show you some of the assignments here that we have for quantity type and then also order type. Let's take a look here at side. So I can create buy side, I can create assignments based on the buy or sell. So I can have buy side assignments or I can have sell side assignments. You can see that I can also create a hotkey for selling short and then also covering positions, right? And we can cover those positions, right? For example, let's say if I want to buy shares here, I can type in 1,000. Let's do that limit order here for 1,000 shares here. I can choose my route, time and force. Okay, and then we want to use the ask here. We're going to go by 5 cents. So what I've just did here is basically we're going to auto send an order here for 1,000 shares, a limit order at the ask, and we're not going to pay any higher than 5 cents. So let's say the current ask price is $2 and we're using a 5-cent offset. We can send that order out. We're not going to receive an execution price higher than $2.05. Okay, and now the great thing about this here is I can actually create, now that we have the hotkey here, I can actually create a custom hotkey button. So let's just label this one 1,000 a A stands for auto. Now I can just add this to the hotkey deck here. All right. Remember also, this is important. I don't have to have this assignment. I can do this either or. So I can have the hotkey assignment and create the custom hotkey button, or I can just set it up like this here. It's going to go straight to the catalog. All right. Now remember that, make sure that you know to click apply, right? Because that's going to update anything here on the level 2 window. Also remember that you can, this panel, you can leave this panel as it is and just go line by line, check your orders, make sure that they work. You don't have to close out of this panel to test, to verify that the orders are working correctly. So that saves you a little bit of time because you can just go directly back into the fields here and make changes, or you can modify your hotkeys or create new hotkeys here. So we've already added that one to the catalog, so let's select create new hotkey, and again you see the process kind of starts over here. All right, so let's go to the hotkey deck here, and I'm going to show you. This is the catalog that I have. So once you have everything defined and mapped out, all right, all your assignments mapped out, then you can just bring things over here to the deck, right? Just from the catalog to the deck. Once they're on the deck, you can move things around here. You can swap and replace the buttons. You also have some items here to change the style. And let's take a look now that we have everything defined here. What we want to do next is just make sure you go and save your configuration. We're going to go to the top left here, and you can save your layout. You can create and save multiple layouts as well as hotkeys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and I'm going to show you a couple examples here. So you can see we have some orders here on the screen here. So we'll take a look at this one here. Zoom in to show you guys. You can see that this blue line represents the average position price here, and this green arrow represents our trade. So we can see that when we close out of the trade, when we enter a trade, it's going to be a green triangle. When we close out of the trade, it's going to be a red triangle. And then also a new feature here for 612 is I can actually change the interval. So if we want to explore this, we're looking at a 15-minute candle right here. So if I want to explore this, right, I can change the interval here, and I can also change this to a 10-second chart. So I'm going to type in 10S, and this is going to give you a better kind of overview of what just happened there at that 15-minute interval here, so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, so now let's take a look here at some of the custom hotkey buttons here. So for instance here, I'm just going to show you here that we can auto send that order here for 10 shares. So just, you can see that we just got an execution right there. Okay, so now our average price has changed. You can see that the average price line has just slightly has moved higher here. All right, now there's a couple other things here that we can do with the custom hotkey buttons here. I can actually set up a stop order. So for instance, let's say I want to set up a stop 10 cents below my average price. We're just going to auto send this order here. And now you can see this orange line right here is going to show as our stop order. Now if I want to zoom in a little bit here on the chart here, and let's say I want to bring this higher, I can actually cancel and replace the order. So let's do that. So this is going to be our new stop. Okay, and then I can also just cancel this order. Let me show you some of the other features. So I have a few custom hotkey buttons here. I can either join the ask, close out of my position. So let me just show you what that looks like here. Right, so this is a load feature. So what I'm able to do now is I join the ask, and I can actually adjust the price here, okay, using my arrow keys. So I want to adjust this a little bit higher to 195, or let's say 197. There's my limit order. And again, as you've seen with the stop order, we are able to cancel and replace this, or drag and drop this limit order. So let's drag and drop this higher here. Okay, so we just canceled and replaced the last order by the drag and drop for the limit order. I'm going to show you another feature here that I have here on the deck. We also have a range order, so I can apply a range order. For instance, let's say I want to use this as the offset here, so I can create a range order based on the high and low, intraday high and low. So let's take a look at those settings right here. So we're looking at the close price here from here. Right, you can see this is the low and this is the high. So I want to set up a range order. Auto send that order. Okay, so that's our range order. Now the great thing about this range order is I can use offsets here. So for instance, if I want to create the range order to have an offset higher than the intraday low, or I can create it lower depending on how you want to define it, or I can, let's say, I would think a good way to do this is that you just leave the range, the offset for low price as it is, and then if you really think the position or the security is going to trade higher, you can create this offset here from the high price, current high price. Let's say you can do this by several points, or let's say you want to do one for $2 or $5. If you really think the security is going to move, you can just use this here as a reference, the intraday high, and then offset your range order. All right, so some of the other features here that I want to show you guys, we have a new chart overlay here for TradeZero, and to find that, all you need to do is go to the chart here, right click, and then go to apply preset. You can see this one here for TradeZero indicators. Let me show you that here on a new chart and how traders are looking at these features. All right, so how this works here is that you have 4 indicators. So this first one is the MACD, and you can see that when the way this works is that when you have the blue line, for instance right here, you see the blue line is above the yellow line, that's a bearish configuration. Okay, you also have this second indicator here, which indicates basically buying and selling pressure. The third one here is an oscillator, and this one is going to show you, this one is a oscillator for overbought, oversold conditions, and then this fourth one here is for market direction. So this is going to show you trends, reversals. Also, it has positive and negative divergence. So this is a great opportunity to learn how this works and get an idea of these advanced indicators here. And we can also go into the settings here. For example, if I want to change the chart settings, we're just going to go to the right here, and then just remember that you can bring this like so. And if I want to change this current OHLC setting here, we can just change this back to candle. All right, and that's the TradeZero preset. All right, so let's see here. Take a look at some of the other features that we have here for ZeroPro. We kind of reviewed most of the order entry and hotkey configuration settings here. We do have a few settings, new features here for indicators. So let me just give you a quick overview here of the indicators and how this works here. So we're going to take a look at indicators, and remember that you can always create a indicator set and you can save your current configuration, or you can apply a new configuration. One of the new features here for 612 is the ability to basically set up the charts the way that you want here, and just go to the chart attributes panel here, and then all you have to do is save as default. So save as default means that all the configurations here that we have, for example, like we have a setting here to show the logo, or you can disable things like the order confirmation window. We also have some settings, some other advanced settings here for like the current price line. We also have, we can show, this is a new feature here for 612, is the bid and ask price. So we have an opportunity to take a look at those there. Right, so just switch this to on. Okay, and then also for the bid price, we'll take a look at this indicator real quick. Right, if we scroll down a little bit more, you can see that we also have previous day high and low, also pre-market high and low. All right, and again, just remember, once you make all your settings here, changes and configurations here, you're going to want to go to save as default. All right, select that. Now, anytime you open a new chart, it's going to have those basic default configurations for you. Okay, so if we open up a new chart window, we just save those default settings, and any new chart will have that. So this will also save with your layout as well. Okay, so we can take a look here at some other, let's see, some other securities here that are in play, and let's see here. give you kind of an idea of what's going on. Also, a new setting that we have here for 612 is the opportunity to save your drawing style here. So for instance, let me just show you. I can select any color that I want right here, change the color, we'll change the style here. So you can see that how I have this set up here now. Any changes that I make, when I save the layout and the current layout and come back the next day, this actual chart drawing configuration will be saved. Okay, and you can see the overlay is just pretty much just a white line that shows you the averages here for volume. Now if I want to just bring this attribute here, take a look at this here, I can also change the volume. This is a new feature as well. If we want to look at like thinner candles, we can select that here. You can see that's a new feature as well. Okay, so you can see here I can hold shift, kind of draw a horizontal line where I want here, just like that. I can draw one there. Okay, you can draw one right here. And you see how fast that is. I don't have to spend time drawing my lines. I can just find the areas of support and resistance that I want. Okay, we can also just quickly erase those lines here. But here, if we take a look here at the daily chart, and let's say I want to just keep lines here on this side here in the daily, for instance. Let's say I just want to draw a trend line here on the daily chart. Okay, let's say just like that. And you can see that it's not shared here on this 15-minute chart. So the setting for that here is just, we can select here, we'll go to our line here, and you can see that the display criteria is just for the daily. Now if I just want to, if I want to have it shared, right, then I can select that, and now you can see that we have it shared on both charts. We kind of reviewed everything. If you want to take a look here at the bid and ask lines here that we have, I think a good way to kind of showcase this here is we can take a look at Amazon. Okay, so let's take a look at Amazon here, and we'll zoom in completely here on the chart. Let's look at a 5 or a 10-second chart here. So I'll type in 10S, and you can see now this is the bid is the yellow line, and then the ask is showing. So that's on the level 2. So as a trade happens, right, every time we get a trade here, it shows you that where that trade was placed here. So you can see if you're watching the level 2, if someone hits the bid, right, and that bid drops lower, you're going to see the yellow line drop a little lower, and the same with the purple line here. That represents the ask price. It was nice making the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a thumbs up. Also, just remember to leave us a comment, right, if you have any questions. And then also, thank you again for your time and consideration becoming a client with TradeZero. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.